Canva, tips and tricks. I have over 50 amazing shortcuts and hacks for using Canva to create your digital products and printables. Are you ready? Let's get started. Bekki with We Sell Printables, and I am super excited to give you over 50 amazing tips and tricks for you to use with Canva. These tips are fantastic for the beginning creator, but there's also some surprises in here for the seasoned creator as well. The first shortcut is adding text inside of a Canva design. The shortcut for adding text is simply not making sure that you're not selected or that you have not selected anything on your design, but then just push down the T key and text will pop up for you to select and type and reformat. Tip number 2 is the shortcut for adding a circle. To add a circle inside Canva, all you need to do is press the C key, and a circle will pop up that you can easily resize and change the color and customize it for whatever it is you are creating inside of Canva. Tip number 3 is the shortcut for adding a rectangle. To add a rectangle, just press the R key and a rectangle will pop up, which then you have the same ability to grab these little side hash marks to reposition and resize and reorient your rectangle. You can then select which color you would like it to be and then position it anywhere on your Canva design. Tip number 4 is when you have text or elements that you would like to be perfectly aligned. If you're using a Mac, you're going to hold down the Shift key and then you're going to click on the different elements that you want to align. If you're using a PC, you would hold down the Control button to do the same thing. Once you have those elements selected, you go up here to where it says Position, and then you can left justify it, center justify it, or right justify it, and boom, in one click, the text is perfectly aligned. Now, if you want the text to be perfectly spaced, you can also tidy up the text and it gives equal spacing between all of your text. Tip number 5 is adding text the traditional way. Grab this and move this over. On this left-hand side of the toolbar, you will see this T for text. When you click on that, you will get all of these options for adding text. So if you wanted to select something that already had some text formatting to it, where it has, oops, I added it twice. It has different fonts already selected that go together, and then you can simply edit the text to say anything that you would want it to say. I can spell anything, and then you can reformat it, resize it. You can even select and change the text right here in the drop-down menu. Canva has a lot of different fonts for you to choose from, and then you can also change the size of the text, the color of the text, etc. I'm interrupting my own tips and tricks video to let you know that there are resources for you in the descriptions, and I don't want you to miss it. Number 6 is quick bold. You click on the text that you would like bold, and on the Mac you hold down Command B. On a Mac you would hold down Control B. Quick tip number 7 is quick italics. Works the same way. You click on the text, you hold Command I for italics. If you're on a PC, you would hold Control I. Tip number 8, quick underline. You guessed it, you click on the text, Command U for underline. On a Mac, you would hold down Control U. Tip number 9 is moving elements with ease. An element could be a shape or an image on your page, and you can simply click and drag those elements around on your design. Tip number 10 is outlining your text. Once you have your text sized properly, and if you wanted it to be outlined, you would double click to select your text, go up to Effects, and you would click on this hollow, and ta-da, your text is outlined. Tip number 11 is to add a drop shadow, like I did over here on the numbers on these slides. You select your text, go to Effect, and then you click on Shadow, and you can see that a drop shadow added just under the text. You can play with where the drop shadow or how deep the drop shadow is. You can play with the direction of the drop shadow, and you can blur the drop shadow so that it's just shadowy. You can even make it transparent or super dark. And then you can even add different color schemes so that your drop shadow adds just the perfect element to whatever design you are creating. Tip number 12 is to move text or elements 1 pixel at a time. You click on the element and then you simply click on the element and you got to select the element. Tip number 12 is to move your elements 1 pixel at a time. In order to do that, you click on the element and then you can click on the element. Tip number 12 is to move elements or text 1 pixel at a time. You click on the element and then you simply click the arrow button to the right, up, or down, and the element moves 1 tiny pixel at a time. Tip number 13 is to move your elements 10 pixels at a time. So you would select the element that you want to move, hold down the Shift key, and then when you move the arrows to the right, up, to the left, or down, that element moves 10 pixels at a time. Tip number 14 is to group elements so that they become one unit. So if you wanted this arrow, the number, and these letters to be all connected, you hold down the Shift key and you click on the elements and you select them. And then now your elements are all grouped together. Tip number 15 is quick copy for editing. Sometimes you are ready to make major revisions or even minor revisions to a design, but you want to keep your master intact. The way that you can do this easily is you go to File and you drop down to where it says Make a Copy. When you click on that, a page will open. If your computer's faster. Right now I have a copy of the Canva tips. You would double click and change the title of that design, and then you will have a working copy without having destroyed or manipulated your master copy. Tip number 16 is changing fonts and colors. I love Canva. It's so versatile. You double click and select your font, and then right over here in the drop down menu you have a wide variety of fonts to choose from, and you can simply click and it will automatically change the fonts to anything that suits your design. And then to change color, you would click right here on the text color button and select the font text that works perfectly with whatever it is that you are designing. Tip number 17 is finding and replacing words. Really helpful if you have a very big design or project and you realize that you would like to replace a word within the entirety of the document or on a single page. You go to File, you select Find and Replace Text, and then you can click in there. You can say that you want to select the word words, and then you want to replace it with the word text. You can replace that simply on this one page that's showing, or you could replace it in the entire document. Super helpful. Number 18 is starred items. When you design your creations, you may find that you tend to use the same elements over and over again. So say I always used in my designs, I always used these stars in my designs. And I want to make sure that they're easy and at my fingertips the next time I go to create a design. So what you would do is you would click on elements, you would locate the design or the element or the image that you want to star. You click on these little dots right here and you click star. And what that does is it adds these elements. So you go down to folders and you click on starred and you will see your favorite elements right there ready at your fingertips. That makes an amazing tool if you are branding your designs. Tip number 19 is to apply a template style. So as you are designing, you may decide that you want a different feel for your template. And what you can do is you can go over here to templates and you can look through the templates that Canva has and you can see the different fonts and colors. And if you find one that you like, for instance, this pink one up at the top, you click on the little dots and then apply style only. That's going to change the font and the color scheme according to that template. This is really great when you're looking to refreshen some of your designs. Tip number 20 is to change a shape. So say you clicked on C and you added a circle to your design, but you decided, I don't really want a circle. So you go over here to shape and all of these shapes pop up and you can simply click through and decide which shape works best for your design. And of course, all of these shapes can be increased or decreased in size, and then you can play with the color so that it fits your design. And you can also use these little arrow buttons to spin them around so that they're at a different orientation. Tip number 21 is when you've created a design and you decide, wow, I really like this font and I would like to change this font over fast. So what you do is you click on that font that you love, that you want to transition or copy to the other font on the page. And this little paint roller right here, you click on that. And then if you go through your design and you click on the font, you click on the paintbrush, you click on that, and it automatically transitions the font to the initial thing that you clicked on. Super cool, huh? Tip number 20 is copying an outline style. Say you have an image that has an outline on it that you would like to copy over to other elements on your page. So once you have this positioned, first of all, this image is just a circle that has an outline. And right here, these little drop downs, you can decide how thick you would like the borders. You can even round the corners of your shapes, which I'll show you in a second. But if you wanted this outline to be on the different elements on your page, you click on the image, you go to your handy little paintbrush roller, click on that, and then you click on the shape that you would like it applied to, click on the paint roller, click on the shape that you would like it applied to, and that's a fast way to copy an outline style. Now, if you wanted a shape, this is a bonus tip. If you go here and you want the corners rounded on your shape, you just drag this corner rounding and it'll transition the corners on your shape so that they're not so sharp and pointy. See how it rounds it out? Super fun. Tip 23 is gradients. Come over to the left-hand toolbar and click on Elements, and then you will type in gradient. Gradient. And then you're going to click right here on Photos. There are all of these transitioning colors from one corner to the next. And all you do is click and drag those gradients in, and it adds a fun element to your design. You can also click on the image and then come right here to this little rainbow section, and you can play with the different colors of the gradient in an easy, fun way. Gradients. Number 24 is fun gradients. There are gradients that have different shapes, so you can go to gradient and then you can put heart. And you'll see that there are different gradient hearts. or blobs is a popular one, blob, where you can get these fun elements into your designs. So fun gradients, and again, you can customize the colors simply by clicking on the two different squares or the multi-different squares, and it will change the gradient design for you in an easy peasy way. 25 is when you have text or elements in your design that you would like your customer or buyer or user to be able to click and then go to a website. And the way that you do that is you simply double click on the text that you would like hyperlinked. You click on these little chain links right here, and then right here you would just paste in the URL of wherever you want your customer or buyer or reader to go. Tip 26 is filtering elements by color. If you're not quite sure what you want to add into your design, you come over here to the left toolbar, click on elements, and then you can search for different elements. So say I wanted to do a heart, I can then click on these sliders right here, and I can select, I want my hearts to have a blue backdrop. Let's see if any blue come up. So there's this fun blue heart that pops up that would match whatever design or feature that I wanted to add, and I can easily find things that fit my design simply by filtering the elements by color. Tip 27 is filtering the elements by shape. The same way that we just did right here, you go to the left toolbar, you click on elements, and then you can put in whatever shape you want. So if it's a circle, you can do different circles, and then again you can select the circles or the shapes based on whatever color scheme you would like to add to your design. Tip 28 is cropping an element or an image. You click on the image and you select right here from the menu, you select the word crop, and then you simply drag to where you want that image cropped and hit enter, and you have easily cropped your image. 9 is flipping elements. Say you added a heart to your design, and for some reason you wanted it upside down. So you click on the element, and then you come over here to flip, and it gives you the option to flip it horizontally, which won't matter in a symmetrical design, or to flip it vertically, and it makes it really easy for you to position your elements wherever and however you want them on your page. Tip number 30 is to duplicate elements, and that's really easy. You select the element on the page that you would like, and then you simply click this little plus duplicate, and then you have duplicated that element on your page. Tip 31 is super fun, letter frames. In Canva has these things called frames, which look like this over here on the left, where it looks like landscape, giving you the ability to drag and drop things into them. So if you go to frames and you clicked, I did that fast. If you go to scroll down to frames, select see all, and then up here you put letters. And we're going to drag and drop some into this image. I'm going to put the word fun. So let's find an F, U, and then an N, fun. And then these are if I want to move these all together, I can click and then hold down and drag across. So I've selected all of those letters simultaneously. Again, I can use my position to make sure that they're tidied up. And then I go to photos, which is over here on the side more. Go to photos. And let's see, let's do a family. And this is a fun one. So I'm going to drag this photo and I'm going to fill in the fun over here. And look at how cool that is. Now, I'm not a professional designer, but I think that looks really fun. So tip number 1, letter frames. Tip number 32 is Really important for your branding. So if you find that you're constantly using the same colors, you can create your own brand kit by going to Canva Home and then right here clicking on brand. And then you have the ability to create your own brand kit by selecting colors that you would like to have at your fingertips, because you always use this purple, or you always use this crazy pink, or you always use this funky orange color. And then you can also select what fonts and sizes that you like for your headings. And now when you go back into your design, you will find that those brand kits are at your fingertips. I'm back in Canva, and you will be able to find your colors when you click on your design, whether you're looking at font or whether you're looking at your elements, and you look at the drop-down colors, and you will see that the orange and the pink, or the different colors that we just added into our palettes, are now available to us. 33 is a color palette generator. This is a good one. You go to Canva's home page by clicking right on canva.com, and you click on the actual Canva. Then you go to Design Spotlight, go to See All under the Start Creating. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you're looking under here under Explore, you're looking for colors. This color palette generator, say you had an image that you wanted to match the colors to. So you could find an image from the web that you wanted, you love the color scheme, or you can upload your own image. So here's a picture that I did of myself this morning where I was working on a class. And then it has the actual colors that are within this photo. I can use the actual color code, or I can download these colors so that I can start designing. Isn't that cool? Tip number 34 is millions of free photos. Inside of Canva, you have a lot of photographs that you have at your fingertips to use as inspiration or to use in your designs. But if you wanted more, you could click right here on these three dots that says More. And then you scroll down and you can click on Pixels and Pixabay, and there are millions of free pictures. You still need to look at terms of use if you're using the images in anything that will be online or for commercial use, but there are so many options for you in your designing. Tip number 35 is changing backgrounds. If you just wanted to change the background color of this image, you click off the image so that nothing is highlighted. Click on this little rainbow color, and you can click any color and it will just change the color backdrop of your design. 36 is locking elements. Right now, this entire design is not locked. I can grab and I can drag anything around at will, but sometimes you want these things to be set in place so that they can't just be moved around. So if I wanted this text to stay right here, I would select it, and then right up here in the right hand corner there is a little lock, and you just click on that, and now this element is locked, so it can't be selected and moved around, but these other elements can. So if you wanted to lock the entire page, you could click and select everything, and then you could click on the little lock box, and then now everything is secured on the page so it can't be moved around. This is extremely helpful when you set your design elements and then you want to just move your text or some of the elements around. And they're easy to unlock as well. You just click on whichever thing you want unlocked, and then you click on the little lock box, and then voila, those things are now unlocked. 7 is making a digital sticker. So you want to play with a photo where you just pull an element out, and you want to secure it in a way that you can move it around just like you can move this text around. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to grab an image. So first I'm going to just grab that little mark, and I'm going to move my text over here so that you can see that we're making a digital sticker. I'm going to go over to photos, and I'm just going to pick an image so that I can show you how this works. So let me put a kid, and let's do this guy right here. So say, actually it already has a transparent background. Let's do this guy right here that has the wall. And I just want to be able to just have him as a cutout. So I click on the photo and I go to Edit Image, and I do this BG background or BG remover, and Canva's going to do its work, its magic, and it should isolate the image of this little boy, and all of the background should go away. It takes a minute. And there he is. So I want to actually save this as a sticker. So I'm going to add another page into my design right here so I can show you. So I'm going to add a blank page, go back, and I'm going to grab just this image. So here he is. So once again, the way that this worked is I added an image. I clicked on Edit Image, BG Background Remover, and I let Canva do its magic. Go ahead and resize him so that he's the right size. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to Share, and I'm going to download. I'm going to download it as a PNG file, as a transparent background, and I just want just this single slide to be downloaded. So that is slide number 39. So I can slide down to slide number 39, and I'm going to download that. While that is doing its magic, I want to upload, I'm going to put sticker. I'm going to spell it right. You'll notice that I often type words incorrectly. So then I'm going to come back over here to uploads, and I'm going to upload that little boy sticker into Canva. I'm going to delete this page because I don't need it anymore. And so here I am right here on page 37, digital sticker, and now I have my sticker of the little boy that can move around the page. Now, why go through all the hassle of creating a page, eliminating the background, downloading, and then uploading it? The original image is still there if you just leave it on the slide. So you actually have to download the image and then upload it again as a PNG or a JPEG file so that you can now move it around your page wherever you want. Now, whenever you use images on Canva, you do want to make sure that you check the commercial rights to it. So the way that you do that is you go to the photos and you click on these little buttons right here, the three little dots. You can see that this is free for Canva use, and I can click right here and it will say I can use this media safely for personal or commercial uses. I can use it in marketing or social. I can't resell or take credit for the actual image, and I can't trademark, so be careful using it in logos. This is important as you're using elements inside of Canva, that you take the time to get to know the rights behind any images or elements that you use. Tip number 38 is animating text. So you select the text that you want to do something fantastic with. You click Animate, and then these are fun if you want to have some kind of video element, motion element. This works great if you're doing Pinterest pins. You can see that there's all different ways that you can actually animate your text. So as you go through, this typewriter one is a good one. If you are doing social media, you can adjust the speed that you want things to happen on the page. And there's a lot of different elements that you can add onto your page that gives your design some motion. Is the painting effect. Let's go back over to our sticker image that we just created in the last slides. And so here's got the little boy, and I want to make this look more like a painting. So I'm going to select the image. I'm going to go to Edit Image, and I'm going to scroll down to where I see this Paint Effects. And then I can click through and I can actually click use, and it will transition these images into sketches or paintings. It's a super fun effect. It takes a moment for Canva to do its magic, but you can play with this and transition your designs into all kinds of amazing things. Isn't that fun? Editing images. So when you are working with pictures inside of Canva and you go to the menu on the side and you find photos, or you can click at the search bar and type in photos, and you find an image that you would like to work with, you can manipulate this image in a lot of ways. You can crop it by clicking crop and dragging the corners so that just the subject is visible, and then you hit enter or done. So I've now cropped the image. I'm just moving this out of the way. I select the image. You can flip the image so it's in a different orientation. You can animate the image so that it pops up or has some kind of motion on your page, but you can also edit the image by increasing the brightness of the image or having it more rich. You can play with the color contrast in the image. You can also play with the color saturation. And then there are other tools in here that you can use as well. So you can create mosaics and the painting effects. You can liquefy the image so that it has some fun effects to it. And let's see, so you can also edit the image and you can eliminate the background, which we've already done in the stickers, but I wanted to show you another thing. Say you erase the background, and we're just waiting for Canva to populate. Once the background is gone and you decided, oh, I really wanted a portion of that background to still be in my image, I can click the restore button. And I can use this slider, which will increase the tool that I'm using. And I can go back through the image and I can add in some of the image back. I can restore some of that original image if I wanted to. So in Canva, in the editing the photo option, you have the ability to not only remove the background from an image, but then to go back in and to restore some of the original design. Tip 41, send to your phone. A lot of us do our designing on our laptops or computers, but then we want to be able to take our designs with us on the go so that we can schedule our social media or we can work on it later. You just simply select your design, whatever it is that you are working on, and you select share. You go down to more and you send the image to your phone. This QR code, you can email the entire image to yourself, or you can just snap a picture of the QR code and then your design will immediately pop up on your phone for you to use. That too is frames. I love these. I never knew what they were when I first started creating, but you go to the elements section on Canva and you scroll down to where you see these rainbow style or landscape looking things. And you drop one into your design. This is a fillable frame. So when you want to, you can simply change the color by clicking on the rainbow and then selecting the color. So they would make really great backdrops for something, but you can also drag and drop images into this space. So if I go to photos and I just grab and drag any image into it, it will populate right into the image. Frames are powerful for designing. Tip number 3, presentation layouts. Inside of the template section of Canva, if you just put presentation, you will see that Canva has built-in templates for you to begin your presentations. You can use these for PowerPoints or presentation, like traditional presentations, but you can also use them as backdrops, or a starting point for your own creative design. Again, check the double dots or the triple dots and see if there are any restrictions about any of the presentations or templates that you are using inside of Canva, especially if you're considering using any of the designs for commercial use. Tip 44, you can download a portion of your project. You don't have to download all of the pages. So for instance, I'm right now on page 45 of these slides that I've created, and I can go to Share, Download, and then right here at the file type, I can download it as a JPEG, a PNG file, a standard PDF, a higher quality PDF, an SVG file, an MP4 video, or a GIF. So if I was going to download this as a PDF file, I could click on PDF, and then right here in this select pages, I can select all of the pages, or I can select any of the pages individually that I want to have printed. So here or to have downloaded, I have pages 1, 3, and 10. If I click done, it's going to download to my computer, and it's super great when you only need a portion of your design downloaded. 5, create a checklist. So you would go to Canva and you would create a design, and I am going to make a design that's 8.5 by 11. And I'm not going to actually create the whole thing, but I would go over here on the left-hand toolbar and I would click on template and I would type in checklist. And I would scroll through the selections to find one that suits my needs. I love the look of this one. Whoops. So I love the look of this one. Here's a cleaning checklist, and then I can come in here and double click and I can edit the text. I can change the image. I can change the color and make this my own from this point. A side note, you cannot just take a template from Canva and then sell it. You have to completely modify it and transform it into something unique. And if you're ever curious about what the commercial use guidelines are for an image, number one, this particular one is a pro image, so you could only use it if you had a pro account. But if I click on these little dots, then it will give me the opportunity to click in and see more by the creator so that I can look deeper into her terms of use. But a good rule of thumb is that any template that you use inside of Canva, you have to change the font, you have to change the elements and the color, and you have to customize the wording and the categories so that you started with a template, but then you transformed it into something new. At that point, if you were hoping to sell your creation, you could sell it. But it would have to be completely transformed from the original design. Tip 46 is creating a planner. You would do that much the same way that we did here with the checklist. So instead of a checklist, I would go to templates and I would click in planner. And there are all these planners for you to begin as a starting place for your designs. You click and you drag it over and it will take over the page. And then all of these elements can be customized inside. You can change what you call the different subheadings. You can change the color scheme by clicking on the little color, the background color, and just have fun. So if this was for your personal use, you could use it as is. If you're going to be creating planners for resale, then you would have to take this as inspiration and then create something new and unique that is your own. Tip 47 is creating a graph. Here's a fun one. Inside of Canva, there is a graph maker. So I have to get out of here. And you click on the sidebar, you click on more, you click on charts, and then you can select which kind of graph you would like, and then it'll populate the graph. The cool part about the Canva graphs is that you can then change, let me eliminate this so you can see it better, and let me eliminate this so you can see it better. So I can click on this graph, I can change the color scheme that this graph is represented by. And then I can also go in and I can edit these sections. So if I wanted item 1 to be vanilla, and 30% of people, 30% of people like vanilla, and then I can change this to chocolate, how many people like chocolate ice cream, I can make that 20%, etc. And it modifies and individualizes the graph for you. Super powerful, super fun. And again, you go to the more dots and then you click on graphs. Oops, it moved on me. You can search the apps for charts. And then, charts. And then there's all these different types of graphs, line graphs, splatter graphs, etc. Cones, fun. Really neat for creative designs. Tip 48 is aligning your text. So one of the features, I already showed you how to position the text to make it you can have perfect alignment, but sometimes you just want to kind of drag and get the text aligned with other elements on the page. So you can click on your text, and if you drag it towards the center, a red line, do you see that red line that appears on the page? When it goes from the top to the bottom of the page, that text is now perfectly aligned in the center of the page. And if I click and I drag it towards the top, you'll be able to see when it is also horizontally centered on the page as well. So those are some handy guide bars for you as you're moving things around. You can line up your elements so that right now this text is lined up with that arrow on the side, or you can put it on the center. So it's just a matter of clicking and dragging to align your is to make your own template. When you've put in all this hard work to create a design that you know that you will want to use as a starting point over and over again, you can create your own template. And the way you do that is once your design is all set, you click share and you go to download. Tip 49. When you go through all the hard work of creating a design, sometimes you want to use that again as a starting point or a template. And that's easy to do. Once your design is set, you go to share, you go to more, and you click this template link. And then this right here is a link for an actual template that you can use for designs in the future. So if I were to come here and I were to drop that link, you can't see it, I'm up in the URL section of the page, there we go, and I were to drop that template link here, it'll open up to a page like this, a template created by your name, shared, and then right here you can use this template and it will open up and you will be able to use a new copy of that original template that you created. Tip number 50 is this cool new draw feature inside of Canva. So if you go to the more button and you click on draw, this one's really fun. You can select a pen and you can select the color of your ink and you can draw right inside of Canva. Now I have not done any practicing on this, but you can do a glow pen, you can do a highlighter, you can do an eraser, which will erase all the things that you just did, and you can just have fun drawing. If you're an artist and you like to create your own hand-drawn elements, or if you want to work and do some kind of handwriting, this is a super fun one. Tip 51 is resizing a design. This is important if you created a design, but now you need it in a different size layout for social media or for an image that you would like to use in another place online. All you do is you come up here to this resize You click on that and then you wait for Canva to respond because sometimes the computer is slow. And then right here you can put in the actual pixel width and height that you would like, or you can do it by inches, millimeters, or centimeters, or you can actually write up your type and you can say, I would like this re-signed for something like a Pinterest pin. So I can type in Pinterest. And then the different things for the different dimensions for Pinterest will pop up. So I'll go ahead and just do a Pinterest idea pin. And then you can either copy and resize it, which is what I'm going to do so that I don't accidentally, I want my original to stay intact. So here is the new one. And you can see that it resized everything in the format of a Pinterest pin. So resizing your design. Tip number 52 is if you only want to use free elements inside of Canva so that, whoops, clicked on the wrong thing, so that you only use free elements so that you don't bump into any of those hiccups that could happen if you want to resell your designs or share them with people and you don't want to add the paid elements to them. So you would go to elements and you can put heart. Right here on this drop down of the slider, you can click on free. And now only the items that are free are going to pop up inside of the element section. And that would work the same way with photos. You can click on the slider, you can click on free. And so now any of the things that pop up here would be free and you would not need the paid Canva account in order to use those elements. Tip number 53 is adding tables, which is a handy tool. We know that we love our tables. So you go to Elements and you click on Tables, and there are all of these formats for you to begin creating your table. You just select it, you drop it in, you'll be able to add your text in there for whatever you want it to say. You can add your text and you'll be able to change the color scheme so that it matches exactly what you would like it to do, but you can quickly and easily add tables inside of Canva. Tip number 54 is color picker. This is a fun one. So say I wanted to match this fluorescent green color and I wanted to change this arrow so that it matched that fluorescent green. Well, I could click on the actual arrow and then I could click on the color, click on this rainbow, and then I could try to match it myself, but I'm not going to get there easily. Instead, you click on this eyedropper, and then the eyedropper will actually be able to select any of the colors in the image. So when I click on the image here, it automatically matched that color in the image. So again, all you do is you select a section, you click on the color, you click on the rainbow, add a new color, click on the eyedrop, and then you can just hover over the images on your page and select the color that you want so that it matches the image. 5. Which fonts go together? Now, if like me, you don't have a design background, you might not know how to choose fonts that go together. And so what you can do is you can go to Canva, and then you can go to Design Spotlight, See All, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, click on Font Pairing, and then there's an ultimate guide to how to put different fonts together. It talks about the anatomy of typography. It talks about design publications. It talks about how you actually put font together in a way that the fonts themselves don't clash, make them easy to read, and it's an extremely valuable resource. Tip 56. Did you know that you could print your creations inside of Canva? Canva does an amazing job. So let's just create a little heart design here. So let's do heart. I loved that blue heart that I found earlier. So let's say that this was this. We've got this. Let's do a font where we say I love Canva. How about that? So we're going to grab that. We're going to move that down. We're going to do I love, and we're going to do Canva. I bet there's something in here that says Canva. And I want the graphics. And oh, it probably needs to not. There we go. I love Canva. I love Canva. Do this one. Canva. And we'll make sure that that color is the same as this one. I'm going to do the picker. I'm going to go like this. Make sure that it goes in. So that blue in the middle is the same. I'll make the eye the same color as this right here. With that color. We're almost there. So say for a second that we created this design, I love Canva, and we wanted to have it printed. If you go to share and you go to print your design, I love this. You can have it printed on a t-shirt, and I can resize and it'll show you an image of, look at that, it's actually showing you all of them. So you can select which images you want on your shirt. I don't want anything on the back. So you can now see that this has a I love Canva. You can have it printed on t-shirts. You can have it printed on all sorts of things. So we've got stickers, canvases, business cards, tags, tote books, envelopes, notebooks, mugs, all kinds of stuff inside here. And all you do is you click and it asks you to resize the design. You select which page from your image you want represented on your actual design. And I want nothing on this one. So here I have a picture of a mug, and it has the I love Canva. And then you can select your shipping, your checkout. So this mug is $17.50. The price goes down if you purchase more, and that's the same with any of the merchandise. You check out and it's a secure checkout. I love the packaging of a Canva printables. I have had stickers created. I've had posters made. I just love the quality. I love the packing material that they use. Really professional, really amazing. And so there you have it. There are 56 things that you can now do inside of Canva that you couldn't have done before. I hope you enjoy this. Make sure you check the descriptions for amazing tips and tricks and resources, and I will see you in another video. There you have it. Tips and tricks for using Canva. Perfect for the beginner and some surprises for the seasoned creator. Canva is one of my favorite tools, and I will leave you with this. If you are using Canva to create products that you are going to be selling, please make sure that you know that you have the rights to use the images and the elements and the templates inside. You cannot simply just grab something from Canva, download it, and then sell it as your own. There's typically 3 little dots next to a template, an element, or an image right up in the right-hand corner. You click there, and then you should be able to see the licensing and the ability for you to use the designs, or whether or not they're allowed for you to use. It is your responsibility as a creator to be upright and integrous and to use things correctly out there. So thank you. Have fun playing with these new tips and tricks, and I will see you online.